I have to admit, my life was messed up before I started learning all the material I'm covering in today's videos. I'm talking about I was sleeping in my car for months. I was broke, busted, disgusted. I never had more than $2,000 into my bank account until I had learned the principles that Bob Proctor taught me. And then since then, I was able to scale 2 7-figure businesses in the last 5 years. So I'm going to be bringing you in to one of the private coaching sessions I have with some of my clients in my inner circle. I'm bringing you, this is exactly what I teach them. I'm going to be showing the gap between what you know and what you do. And if you apply this material, I'm telling you right now, with the same marketing funnels and systems, the same knowledge, and sometimes the same effort, if not less effort, your results will quantum leap. I can almost guarantee it, because you know that the outside world is a reflection of the inside world. When you can close the gap between what you want outside of you and what's going on inside, your life will literally quantum leap. You'll unfuck your life and everything will just get on track. This is my journey, my process. I invite you in. Check out this video. Get out your notebook. Don't get distracted by TikTok. You're going to love it. See you inside. Knowing, doing. There's a bridge between what you know and what you do. And that gap is worth a lot of money. That was the gap that Bob Proctor um, was filling during his time here on this earth, was the gap between we know a lot of things, but yet we don't do it. And I think that's where like the self image comes into play. And not to like bring it back in again, but we know like who got up on time today, like who got up on time at the time they said, who did their meditation in the morning, or they did their journaling or their study this morning, right? And some of us we didn't. Right? We know what to do, but if we don't do it, that gap is worth a lot. And why I say it's worth a lot, it's worth a lot and worth nothing at the same time. It's very vague. Like mindset's a very vague thing. To some, that gap is worth $15 an hour. To another person, it's worth $15 million, just depending on the person you're working with. So that's why the mindset niche, or like the idea of self identity and this stuff, is worth. It's a very powerful industry if you know how to position yourself correctly. So the purpose of this lesson is to help you become aware of habitual and non-productive actions, the huge gap between what people know and what you actually do, and how to actually, and why that educational system was actually focused on memorization and not application. Like you were actually cheated during the entire schooling system. And how many of us know people that went to school, have all these degrees, but yet did not live the life that you want? And I was actually fortunate enough to have older tias, like older aunts, who were, I think they're about 10 years older than me. So I'm from San Diego, right? So they went to San Diego State. And so they were in college while I was in like middle school. And so by the time I got to high school, graduating, starting college, my grandma always would say, DeAndre, go to college, go to college. Mexican Latino families, go to college, go to college, go to college. And then no offense to my aunt, right? I looked at the way she's being and I'm like, I don't want to live like that. I really did not want to live like that. And I just started putting two and two together. And it really just got me thinking of like how much of the programming, how much of the program did we listen to our family where you were just really lost and you were just listening to them. I want to bring you guys in on like a touchy kind of like personal note. Like I was reflecting the other day, and I want to show you this image here. And you may have seen it on YouTube, but it really like had me reflecting on my life. Like here's this image of me, my first job ever. Um, One second, let me find it here. My first job ever was Burger King. Okay, let me see if I see my picture here. Like, I don't know if you see that. That's my first job ever. First job. I'm like 16 years old. And I feel when I look at this, I see a kid who's lost. I see a kid that was, yes, so cute. But now looking at me, if I was to sit with this guy, I almost like wish I could be there for him. He was just listening to whatever people were telling him. Why was I working at Burger King? If I was really wanting to get money, right? That's what my grandparents said. Why would they put me at Burger King? Because they got me the job there. Because that's where my tia worked. The same one that had her kids go to college, just surprisingly enough, right? But she used to work there. So they got me a job there. Why was I suited up like this? I don't even recognize this kid. And all I was doing was listening to the college system, the school system, and listening to those. Just lost. And this is the only picture I ever had. But do I look like happy? Like I took a selfie here. I don't know why I did. And that really challenges like what I'm trying to tell you guys here, that we were put in a system, a school system that was not about getting us to where we want to go. Everything we're teaching here is contrary. It doesn't make sense. Like how I started with the acorn story, it makes no sense to reject everything that's outside of you and to focus on something that's not real. Today's world values results, not just knowledge. And so in 50 years of Bob Proctor research, we found out that most people do not apply what they know. And the exciting part is without further study, most of you can improve your performance right now just by applying what you already know. And a story to tell you how this works is, you guys remember that time with Bob Proctor, how it went 0 to 100? I had no extra skills. I didn't learn enough. I didn't take a YouTube course. I didn't take a sales course. I didn't learn how to build funnels. I didn't read another book. I was literally the same guy as I was with 1,000 in my account, and then the guy the next month I was doing 100,000 every 14 days. I was the same person, other than the spiritual faculties we're talking about right now. So I want to challenge you. I lived this multiple times. I challenge you that with the knowledge you have now, your ability of YouTube and sales and marketing and funnels and whatever business you're in, you know exactly what you need to do to go to the next level. The only thing you need to do is close the gap between what you know and what you do. The moment you can close that, you'll literally quantum leap as the person you are now without something outside of you. So here's the gap. You know it, you do it, let's bridge it. Okay, so I have to bring you back on this image again just so we know where we're at as far as the mind, okay? So we have the stick figure. We have the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, the body, and then you have your results out here. So your conscious mind is where you gather book knowledge. It's your ability to repeat information. And that's why a lot of people that try to be mindset coaches or spiritual coaches, a lot of them fail. They can't pay their bills. Because anybody can read this book and teach it, but to live it is something different. It's something that's not done on the camera. So a lot of people have tried to do mindset channels and coaching and stuff, but a lot of them you wouldn't want to follow them. They're not really doing it, I guess you can say. Because anybody can repeat information. Anybody can watch a course on trading or funnels or marketing and repeat it. But to actually apply it and get results, that's a different part of the mind. That part of the mind is the subconscious. It's your self-image. It's your environmental programming, like that kid that was at Burger King. It has everything to do with what's going on outside. And if you guys are still doing the hypnosis, the Paul McAllen or McKenna last name is, I'm sure you guys have kind of been cycling through those meditations. And there's that one, he's like, I'll teach you to be rich. And he's like, imagine you like as a kid that had all the opportunities. You had a family that supported you in wealth. And I do that meditation and like, man, how my life would be so much different. If my grandparents, like I said, I wouldn't change anything because that's who I am today. But imagine if you had a family that was like, Issa, you want to be wealthy? You're 15 years old, like Alexis. Alexis just turned 16. Like I really enjoy working with Alexis. I wish the same age Alexis on this call, that was me at Burger King. Imagine there's somebody like you, Issa, your family saying, you want to start a business? Let's get you building funnels. Let's have you building your market list. Let's have you making some YouTube channels. Let's teach you how to write a script. Let's teach you how to do sales. And by the time you're working at a burger place, what would your life look at 18? What would your life look like at 25? What would your life look like at 30? That's your environmental programming. And then your boss what takes the action. Like if you guys find yourself procrastinating next time, I want to challenge you. Your procrastination might come from the fact that you're lacking clarity. Procrastination, or what do you call it? Like when you distract yourself with vices. It can be binge eating, watching Netflix series, alcohol, drugs, sexual stuff like porn, whatever. All of those things are escapism. You're escaping the work you have to do, and that escape probably comes to the fact you're lacking clarity in that area. So you keep running away because it's painful. So you run away to a distraction. So that's your body following through on something that's happening mentally, spiritually. Pay attention to that next time and you'll realize that. You'll probably do it this week and just remember what I said there. And so that produces the same result. Hey guys, quick little intermission here. I know you're enjoying today's video. I want to invite you to do a couple of things right now if you're really enjoying this lesson. Number one, inside the link in the description, I have a free Telegram group where you can actually get a worksheet from this lesson so you can actually apply it to your life completely for free. check it out in the Telegram group below. And for those of you that are really liking this, let's just say you're earning 6 to 7 figures already and you want to apply this level to your life and you want to go quicker and go faster and have customized information, click the first link in the description, apply to hop on a call with us, and we'll take you into my Inner Circle program. I've taken 500 clients through this and we've earned millions upon millions of dollars with our clients, helping them apply this, taking their business to the next level, finding more peace, profit, and internal power by aligning their spirituality with their business so they can really have more fun with this. So check that out in the description below. Without further ado, let's get back into the video. So we have two parts of the mind: conscious mind, subconscious mind. We talked about it. Connected to your conscious mind, we have what I call five spiritual senses and five physical senses and 6 spiritual senses. Conscious mind, you can see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. That's what keeps you grounded as a human being. Great. But as Bob said in the beginning, his dogs can also see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. So that keeps us connected to the physical world, our environment. But what separates us from our environment, and most importantly, what separates you from all other human beings here, we have the 1%, the haves, and the have-nots. If you want to become a have, and we're not just talking about have financially, we're talking about have in your relationships and your happiness and your health and in your wealth, have and a have not. Become a have is your ability to use your spiritual faculties. It's not because they have a different environment, because if that was true, all the people in a rich place would be continuing to be rich. But there's people right now in the poorest parts of the world that will one day become rich. So it's nothing to do with your zip code or your country or anything. It has something to do with your access and ability to use your 6 spiritual faculties that are connected to your conscious mind. Who knows what they are? Imagination, will, reason, perception, memory, and intuition. It's your ability to use those 6 mental tools that will determine what your life will look like in the next month, the next 30 years. It's your ability to use those things right there. And constant reminder. I'll be honest, guys. Like this is why I put you guys in. I put in the chat, because if you guys like, because when you guys originally signed up, it was for 3 months. But I want you guys continuing to come, because this keeps me accountable too. If I wasn't teaching this, oh my god, I would like be falling backwards too. But obviously I study, so I can't imagine you guys. Imagine you stop coming, like you guys will forget. I forget. Like, I just found myself getting emotionally involved in the outside world recently. I'm like, dang, well, look at what the calendar looks like this week. And I'm like, oh, well, this is how many sales we're going to get. I'm like, wait. No, what do I want to create? And if I keep looking at it, it's going to control my emotions. So imagine my clients that are not going to be pulling up to the call because it's past their 3 months. No, like, come to the call. Let's go. Let's continue to grow. Physical faculties, it's your spiritual faculties, and most importantly, your ability to use those, which will separate. I think I should create a module on that. It's so important. It's like a video game character. You know, like your Grand Theft Auto, you have like hit, block, weapons, like contacts, that kind of thing. Like you check your character weapons. That's you in real life. It's your ability to use your imagination to see a life that's not real now. Your ability to tap into God speaking to you through your intuition. Your ability to memorize past things, and continue to make improvements, but forgetting the old. That's what memory is. It's your ability to remember a fact, remember the bad, make improvements, and then do it again, and not bring that baggage with you again. That's where reasoning comes in. Reasoning is your ability to accept and reject an idea. Imagination and will, your ability to focus on something. That's why I highly challenge you guys. I don't even have Instagram on my phone. You guys won't really see me posting on Instagram. Maybe it's my story. If it is, Alexis manages my Instagram. I don't like Instagram as short form content. It just sucks your willpower. It sucks your willpower. And it takes your attention to Mark Zuckerberg or whoever runs TikTok. It just sucks your attention away, so you can't sit down and do deep work and find dopamine in deep work. You have to find dopamine in the next emotion that the scrolling gives you. Your ability to use your willpower is literally the super. I should make a YouTube video about that, really. Because now, you know, like the great superpower that will separate all men from the boys is their ability to use their willpower to focus on one thing to the exclusion of everything else until imagination, will, reason, perception, memory. What's the other one? You guys get what I'm saying? I went down the list. So that's how we want to see it. So down here, we have our deep beliefs. We have our habit patterns, we have our intuition, we have our insights, and we have our thoughts and our feelings. All right, so let's continue here. So, what is a paradigm? A paradigm is a collection of your habits. And you have a bunch of these habits, like actually millions of them, to the fact to how you sitting right now. If your hands are crossed, which one's on top and which one's below? Are your legs crossed? Which one's in front? Isn't that interesting? Like you have a bunch of habits to the habit to the how you brush your teeth. Like Issa's just leaned over on her head. Like that's a habit to use that hand to lean over versus the other one, right? We have millions of different habits, but collectively, that's right. Collectively, that dictates our life. Now, just leaning over a hand or crossing your fingers in certain ways that can control your life. No, but we have big habits that will. For example, your ability to earn and save money, your ability to love and give love, your food. Like there's different things that will control your life. And I'm just going to bring attention to those, equip you, and then you can fix the rest on your own when you're ready. So, what is a habit? A habit is a fixed idea that's in your subconscious mind that becomes an automatic behavior. And so, your paradigm, which is those a mix of ideas, dictates the direction of your life, whether you like it or not. And so, check out this. I don't know if you guys can see this here. Can you guys see this? This is gray. Okay. So we have thoughts about your current world. Those thoughts then cause a feeling. So you're looking at your outside world, and those thoughts are going to cause a feeling. Those feelings then create an action or lack thereof, known as inaction or procrastination. Everybody thinks about the action, the action, the action, but you also have to look at the opposite. Law of polarity. There's an equal and opposite. So thoughts create a feeling, and feeling creates an action, but it also creates an inaction. You haven't called your mom recently, or your sister, or whoever. You haven't called that family member recently. Keeping up with the relationship. You haven't made that difficult call. You haven't sat down to do deep work 4 hours a day for consistently for a month or so. Those actions then create a result, whether it was a positive action or inaction, create a result. Those results then show up. Results are then evidence of your beliefs. Those beliefs continue down the line. Thoughts, feelings, action, result, and then what happens is it reinforces your paradigm. This is where you have to break the habit of being yourself. That's Dr. Joe Dispenza, right? That's what he talks about. You have to break a habit of just being you. Like you're gonna have to put yourself in a different trajectory. And this is where just the awareness of where your habits are. And this is what we talked about last week with self-image. This lesson is actually ahead of self-image, but I didn't know I wrote it, and I had to remember to teach it to you guys. This is the last lesson on thoughts. Next week we're on feelings. And so I'm just helping you become aware of some of the habits that you have, from the way that you dress. Like I don't have to set up this camera. Like my laptop's right here, right? I don't have to set up this camera and have the lighting here. I don't have to. But my self-image and how I want to show up to you guys and be the best version with the best audio, the best lighting, so I can have the best communication makes me do it, because it's part of my self-image. And I'm aware of how I want to show up and give you the guys the best information, both visually, audio-wise, and just a nice aesthetic. I can just do it right here on my phone, on my laptop. But we don't, because it goes back to our self-image. How do we show up? So people are stuck in a cycle, repeating the same actions without ever thinking. So check this out. There's a cue. Here's the habit loop. The cue is you're bored because you're doing work or you're studying. Maybe there was a gap in the conversation. Maybe you're sitting in the car and you pull out your phone. Because there's a cue. And I want you to see that cue as being uncomfortable. You know you have to do the work and you get uncomfortable. That conversation went silent and you get uncomfortable with the silence. Different cues. That cue, because of how you've programmed yourself or haven't programmed yourself, you have a craving to break from the boredom or break from the tension. So your response, pull out your Instagram and start scrolling randomly. I almost feel like this is like in an addictive sense. Some like you can tell somebody's awareness level from how much scrolling they do. An aware person does not scroll. Now, do we scroll sometimes? Yes, but those people that are like, imagine you're going to go into business with somebody and they're always scrolling. That's a sign to not go into business with that person. They just don't have control of their over their thoughts, or even enough awareness to like question why they're doing that. And what's the reward? Pleasure. And what's that pleasure? It's distraction from the boredom, distraction from that feeling of being uncomfortable. So you can replace Instagram here with whatever vice that you want. It can be binge eating. It can be a binge YouTube session, Netflix, alcohol, drugs, sexual stuff, some type of escapism. There's a cue. My challenge to you guys this week is to determine what is that cue. What is that cue? I found myself procrastinating last week. Why can I not sit down at this freaking table and study and do my YouTube research? Why can I not do that? Well, because I was uncomfortable. I kept distracting myself on the most random things. Like I'll be watching these documentaries about the hood, like the gangland and shit. What the hell am I doing? And I'll watch that till 2 in the morning. Why am I doing that? Well, first of all, I was just doing it unaware. And then I started to question, why am I escaping my work? And if I really got down to it, it's because I was lacking clarity. I had introduced this new idea of a new avatar, a new direction for my channel, like a lot of changes you guys have been seeing, right? Like I'm introducing a lot of changes, and some of it was clear, and some of it was unclear. And because I kept running away from that clarity, it just postponed to discomfort, and I want to escape that discomfort. So and rather than sit down and stare at this Google spreadsheet and look at the YouTube research that I had to do, which would give me the clarity, I was running away from it and procrastinating. And I kept procrastinating because I was lacking clarity. But the moment I sat down and did it, which took me 2 hours, I had so much more clarity and the confidence rose up. And I was like, damn, why was I running away from that? So I want to challenge you when you're procrastinating today or yesterday or this week, what's the cue? Because that's probably the sign that you need to go and fix that one thing. You got to fix that one thing. Making sense? So why do we do things that we do not want to do? Sometimes we repeat a behavior that produces unwanted results. Like we still have women on the call. Yeah, I think it's just Issa and Yvette right now. But like, I've been targeting mostly men, right? Recently. But it's like for men, a lot of them have addiction to porn. Right? They grew up with it. They found it as a kid back in middle school, maybe your dad's old tapes back in the day, whatever it was. But they've been trying to stop for years. And it's like it doesn't really hurt you. It's like nobody knows. Like, but it brings those frequency of shame. I'm not here to judge anybody to stop to do nothing. I'm just talking about the frequency of it. And it's that lack of commitment that we say we're going to stop and then start back up. We're going to lock in. We break commitment to ourselves, and then we think that we're going to go out and be the most confident version of ourselves. That's that feeling that you can't buy is when you stick your word to yourself. That is what a lot of very rich men are lacking. They're rich, but they're not fulfilled because they have so many vices because they have a lot more pressure than the average person. So they binge on this one thing, and you see it a lot of time. They binge on this one thing, and then they break trust with themselves, so they don't have that full confidence, and they go to the dark side. Why? Because in the paradigm, there's behaviors that are doing that are not wanted, and they continue to do them. because the paradigm is controlling the behavior. Just saying you're going to stop hopping on the hub or stop alcohol or stop binging Netflix or something like that, you'll get around it. Like some people, they put like the blockers on social media, like on the what do you call it, the Chrome, so you can't look at YouTube or Instagram or the hub or something, and then they just deactivate it again after a week and get back into it. It's because they're addressing the surface level things, not the deep programming that's in the subconscious. I don't know. Oh, yeah, I see you in there. And even if you don't like the results, we keep doing them anyways. That's because of your programming. Is it starting to make sense? So it's like a tug of war. It's like a tug of war between your old paradigms and the desired result. So you guys remember that illustration that I showed you guys where like there's a power flowing into our consciousness. That power is life. Like when you pass away, you go somewhere else. Your body stays here. Your brain stays here, but you go somewhere else. So there's a power that flows into your consciousness. That power just is. It's not positive. It's not negative. It's not pointed in the direction of your old paradigm, nor is it pointed in the direction of your future self. It just is. It's a power that you can mold to use as you wish. Like the same power that's giving my camera lighting, the same power that's lighting up this light bulb, that's giving this microphone. It's the same electricity, just going through different tools. So there's a power, just like electricity, that's flowing to you as a vessel. As that power hits you, it's gonna hit a program. It's gonna hit the program for this microphone to transmit electricity to a voice that you can hear on Zoom. It will transmute to a light. It will transmute to this light. That's a base program. But we have been given a very, very special ability, ladies and gentlemen. Pay attention. It goes back to those 6 spiritual faculties. We have been given this little bitty right before it hits that program. We have been given this 6 faculties. Most importantly, the ability to choose. The ability to choose which direction will we split the electricity? Which direction will we split that power? And to keep this very simple, it's really easy. There's not a million things. There's not a 5 million. It's only 2. There's only 2 choices that you have to make. Or you don't make any choice, and it will make a choice for you. And let me tell you, you'll go in a direction that you do not want to go in. So you're gonna have to make a choice. There's only 2 choices: your current reality and the reality that you want to build. That's the only 2 choices that you have to make. That power, those thoughts will hit you, and they will hit the program. It's guaranteed to hit the program, but there's only one thing that can stop it. There's only one thing, and it's your ability to choose in that moment. Will it be the current self or will it be the desired self? That alarm hits you at 6 in the morning, like you told yourself you were going to wake up, and that power hits you. You will choose to snooze or you will choose to wake up for your future. Only 2 choices that you can make. And it's very simple when you think about it like that. It's not a million, it's only 2. And at first, it's very weak. You can use your willpower at the start. But at some point, you're just going to have to put it into your programming, which we talk about in our next lesson, which is the meditation, how to actually do this. Now, like meditate, open the subconscious. That's the next lesson starting next week. How to open up the mind and visualize and different meditations and all that stuff. That's later. But we're going to the thought. It's all mind right now. There's all mind, and the feeling and stuff is later. So there's only 2 choices you have to make now. Which will you make? You said you're going to start the new self-image. Oh, but I don't have any client meetings today. I'm just going to put a t-shirt on. I don't have any client meetings. I'm going to go out with shorts today. Old self, or it doesn't matter. This is my new reality. Whether I have a client or don't have a client, I am dressed to impress, and this is the new self-image. You have a choice to make. And I would even challenge you that the biggest choices that really affect your self-esteem are the ones that are done by yourself where nobody else is going to see it. Because only you know that. Let's just say it's the clothes thing. You say you're going to dress professional. I see like the men starting to dress professional. I see Rich he's got his shirt on. Daniel, I noticed he has his shirt on, right? So I know some of the men, right, are starting to do that, and that's what else. That's what naturally will happen. If I start dressing in a suit, you'll find in 6 months the men are wearing suits and stuff. That's just how it is. Look at any of like Jordan Peterson's events; they're all men in suits. But I challenge you that the real hit on your self esteem is when nobody is watching, only you. And this is why those vices hurt. That's why the things like I say porn because a lot of people, because somebody's an alcoholic, you can kind of see. But the porn thing, for example, I just hit on that. You can do it by yourself, and nobody will know, and it's that right there. And that's why they call it the toxic one because it's the one that you can hide, but secretly eats at the self image. And there's a frequency from which you act. Remember lesson one: frequencies. You can take an action from one frequency, and you can take it the same exact action, but from a higher frequency. So when a person is preaching something, for example, self-image, and on camera they're doing it, for example, dressing a certain way, but off camera they're not. They don't have that conviction. That conviction and belief is not transferred to the viewers and the clients. Their clients don't believe in this fully, and it doesn't work, even though they're doing the action. That's why, for most of you on my one-on-one clients, that's why I always challenge you guys: what do you want? Because if you do not have congruency with what you want to build, it's not going to work. Whatever you do, just make sure you're congruent with it. That's what you really want to do. It doesn't matter what's going on outside of you. It didn't matter what happened in the past. What do you really want to do? And then you go do that. Because what happens is you tap into a higher frequency. That frequency alone will get you a lot farther than just your hands alone. It's an unseen force. You can use it for your betterment, or you can align with it or align out of it. It's like a flowing river. Like Napoleon Hill said in Think and Grow Rich, there's an ever flowing riches, like river of riches, and you can jump into it. And if you're in poverty, this serves as an oar to swim to safety, to swim into the waves, because there's a spiritual alignment, authenticity, genuine. And when you align with it, even if you don't have the skills, the resources, the capital, you align with it, and doors that will be open that only God can open because you are aligned with it. That's why it doesn't matter how much money, views, capital, language, where you're at, is what do you want? And you're aligned, the doors will open. So now what I'm talking about in this section is the opposite. Maybe I have to create a separate lesson. You guys follow me here. Everybody understands that part. But a lot of the times we don't take enough for what's hitting us on the back end. That's where the vices come in. So the moment we are not keeping our self-image, you said you're going to dress a certain way because of your new self-image, but now because you don't have a meaning, you don't do it. That is what's hurting you. And it's only if you want that. I'm not saying like maybe you have your casual Tuesdays. That's fine. I'm just saying whatever it is that you decide, not because of your dress or this or that. It's whatever you decided, you keep your word to yourself on that thing. Align with that frequency. You misalign with it. And those misalignments over a period of time break down your confidence and self-esteem and self-respect. And then you get up on camera, people feel that. They don't feel it with their words, they feel it in your spirit. This is what we're talking about, building up the characters here. Building up the characters. And I'm doing it my best here, showing you by actions. I don't know. The things you guys are seeing are off camera. Like every time I come to the call, it's like a different guy, right? I'm just doing it off camera, then I'm coming here. I'm doing my best to make it as fast as possible because I want to go quickly, right? So I challenge you guys to do the same. Well, why are we talking about this? Because that power hits you. You have a choice to make. Only two. Will you go in your old self or will you go with your new self? And it's called being double minded. There's a Bible verse, don't quote me. It says a double minded man gets nothing, something along the lines. I paraphrase. What do you want? Any of you one-on-one clients, we've talked about you can't go in two different directions. You're hurting yourself. Go in on one thing. Can you start another business later on? Yes. But for that first one, you got to get it off the ground until you got it's running, you got employees, systems are running, kind of like what Yvette's doing. Like and at that time, then maybe you can start something else. But at the start, you have to go all in on one thing. So we have what we call, I renamed this lesson. It's not terror barrier anymore because it's not fear. Like you don't feel fear necessarily. Um, Dang, I forgot what I renamed this lesson to, but it's later on. So what's going to happen when you hit that wall? That those choices hit. Those choices hit. Should I do this or should I not do this? Even in the midst of you doing the thing that you said you're going to stop doing, right? Because whatever it is, it can be you're going to stop smoking cigarettes. You're going to stop putting in your freaking nicotine patch things. What the heck? Zins or whatever the hell they call them? I don't know. Whatever the hell they're called. or drinking with the bros, whatever it is. You say you're going to stop, but deep down, you shouldn't be doing this. You're going to hit a wall. So what's happened here? We call this a status quo. In your conscious mind, follow me here. In your conscious mind, your current results are X. You have X type programming in your conscious mind, X type programming in your subconscious mind, and X type programming in your body, obviously, because your body's going to only follow what's going on in your mind, which means that you're going to produce which style of results? X type results, meaning you're going to produce results to the frequency of X. Everybody follow me here. You're going to produce results to the frequency of X. So now you're going to come here to the next section where what I'm doing here on these calls on Tuesdays, on Thursdays, is just challenging you to think bigger, to think differently. I'm introducing a why idea, an outside idea. That's what you're doing on these calls. That's what you're doing in thinking into results. You're entertaining this outside idea. But deep in your programming, it's still your X type frequency. X type in the subconscious, X type in the body, which produces X type results, but you're only entertaining it. Then you're going to get to a point where you're going to really start to make decisions if you want to change your life and make the improvements. This is where conflict comes in. You take that outside idea and then you're actually going to do it. You're actually going to make changes to the dress, to your wardrobe. You're actually going to make changes to your eating habits. You're actually going to make a change to the addictions that you have or vices that you have. You're actually going to try to change. But then you have a dilemma. You have two different frequencies for a period of time, usually about 3 weeks. That's why it says it takes 21 days to form a new habit. During a period of 3 weeks, you have two different frequencies operating in yourself, the old self and the new self. And because God gave you a special power, the ability to choose, he will challenge you during those periods. He will equip you to make the best choices, but he'll equip you through awareness alone. He will not make the choices for you. He will equip you through awareness alone. The awareness that says, Fernando, you probably shouldn't do that. And you know you're not supposed to do that. Will you do it? During that 3-week period, you will be in two different versions of yourself. One pulling you in your old life, one pulling you in your new life. That's where the wall's going to hit. That wall will hit you and you will make a choice. And let me tell you guys, that choice is really hard to hit when your willpower has been expended. It's now 1 a.m., you're super tired, you're hungry, and something's like, I'm supposed to eat healthy, but you're going to order that burger, those chicken wings. Like, who wants to eat a salad at 2 in the morning? I mean, some people do. But most of the time, you guys are trying, like, most people that, like, binge eat, like, they're doing it late at night. You guys notice that? It's because their willpower has been expended. But when you make those choices, you pat yourself on the back and you break through the wall. You build character with yourself. You add a point. You add a point to your self-esteem. You add a point to your self-respect. You add a point to yourself. I said self-esteem, self-respect, these things. Now you do that consistently over 3 weeks, and now you've become a different man, a different person. And then you guys will recognize that feeling that cannot be bought. A lot of people teach this in different ways. For those of you that are American, Wes Watson, Yados, they teach this, but they teach it through going to the gym. Other people teach it a different way. It's all the same thing. They're all pointing towards the same feeling, which is congruency with self. The self, which is the spiritual divinity that's within you. Remember in our self-image section, we talked about there's a spiritual perfection that's within you. And the closer you move towards it, the more you become enlightened and the more doors open up because you're one with God. That's because you're actually doing what you said you're going to do. And if you're doing something that said, God probably is moving you in that direction. He knows what to do. It's your intuition. You just intuition is telling you to stop doing something. You move in that direction. You're moving towards the perfection. The more you move towards perfection, the more you get a feeling that cannot be bought with money. It has to be earned. And that feeling, a lot of people want, but not willing to work for it. Some are willing to pay for it. Some are willing to get guidance from it. And some people won't do it. And that's where I'm positioning my new business. It's like these rich guys, they want to do it, but they don't know how. I'll do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. One-on-one sessions. Let's do it for the next 90 days. You see, that gap is worth a lot of money. And it's worth a lot of money to you. If you were to snap your finger, I was telling, I think, Fernando and Rich today, I was like, if I gave you a magic pill, like Matrix, if I give you a magic pill, I want you to just actually everybody just close your eyes right now if you're not driving. I just want to take 5 seconds and imagine your dream life right now. Imagine your dream relationship. Just see it right now. Dream relationship. See it with your partner and with the kids, if you want kids. See the dream relationship now. Okay, now dream wealth. What's your dream wealth look like? Look at the material stuff. Look at the whatever, the house, the cars, just the feeling of freedom. Now look at your dream health. Look at your dream body. Look at yourself in the mirror. Look at your physique. Now it's just your dream overall happiness, like your overall fulfillment of life and what you're doing and your projects, and feel that feeling. Perfect. Now join me back. Now, imagine if I said, if you take this pill right here, imagine I have a pill or this cup of water. If you drink this right here, you will instantaneously feel, think, and act like that person right now. How much would this cup be worth to you? But most importantly, would you agree with me that if you took this immediately in the next, not even just in 24 hours, your life would change? Everything would change. Your eating would change. Your habits would change. What time you went to bed would change. What you watched on Netflix or YouTube today. Your life would change in 30 days. And that is the gap that I challenge you guys to do here. There is this spiritual identity that when you begin moving towards it, and you don't have all the answers. That's the point. I don't have all the answers. I'm just moving in that direction. And sometimes you trip, but you get back up and you do it again because God is walking with you. The more you move in that direction, more doors will begin to open, and you will be in what do you call the valley of death, right? The shadow valley of death, whatever it's called, right? There's going to be time where God started you on the path, and you feel like you're by yourself. You're like, dang, God, you just moved me in this new business model. You told me to go start this channel and start this new offer, and I'm doing it, and I'm not getting the views, and you start to doubt but God didn't leave you in the desert. He's still there with you, but He's building up your character. He's building up your will. He's building up strength. He's building up skills that you didn't have before you got into the valley. And then when you exit on the other side, you wonder He was there the whole time. He was just working on a different part of you. This is where you don't doubt. This is where you have your faith. If you were to drink this cup today and instantly start feeling like your new identity, would you agree with me? Your life would completely change. So why don't we start now? Why don't we start now? Why don't we start now? That's the challenge of self-image. That's the challenge of this lesson. It's the challenge of what we're doing here. I don't know. Shit. Why not? We have one life. Why don't we go do it? And like I said, try to go back to self-image a lot. I don't know why. That just is drawing me a lot. That goes back to like those two things on self-image. How can we take this cup, like really, like realistically? And Fernando, that's what the business model is. Like, what are we helping men do? It's this: take this cup as waters as fast as possible. That's worth a lot of money to them, especially if you have a very wealthy client. How do we do this? How do we take that cup, take that pill? Internal, external. Internal is going to take 3 weeks to program a new habit. Takes 21 days to form a new habit. Find one habit, select that one habit, work on that one habit. Don't do more than 2. What's the one habit you're going to fix on? I would challenge you to think like the big domino. Have you ever heard the big domino? What's the one domino? By knocking it over, it will knock over the rest of the dominoes. What's the one thing such that by doing it, all of the things will fall into place? Choose that one habit and start there. Don't do a million, just do one. For example, for me, it's going to sleep early. If I go to sleep early, I will naturally wake up early. Who wants to wake up early? For those of you that like sleep in, your goal is to wake up early. Alexis, I know that's you. Like, that was me for a long time. Even like at my peaks, guys, I'm always like sleeping in, right? Or sorry, my old version was sleeping in. But if I went to bed early, I would wake up early. And I'm just the type of person when I wake up early, I feel good. I go and I meditate on the balcony in the sun, getting in all the sun. And because I'm meditating, it's early, I pull out my workbook and I study. And I meditated, I studied, I'm feeling good. Like, let's hit the gym. We're early now. We're not waking up at 12 o'clock. We have time. Let's go to the gym. And everything else just naturally falls into place. That's because it's a big domino by waking up early. But a lot of people try to wake up early, not knowing that they have to go to bed early. Like, it sounds so weird. So how many of us will go ask the average people on the street, what's the goal? They're like, I want to wake up early and do my goals. But then they're staying up till 1 in the morning watching Netflix series and then try to get up at 6. It doesn't work. When you flip it, you find out that you actually have to go to sleep early. Sounds weird. It's the same thing with you. Write down one habit that's your big domino right now. What's the one habit that you'll focus on such that by doing it, all other habits will fall into place or many others? What could it be? Write it right now. Write it right now. I'll wait for you guys. Like, really, I'm serious. Like, this is your action step. Like, write it right now. What's the one habit such that by doing it, many other habits will fall into place? Whatever it can be. Now, just make a commitment that you're to do it. You only have to do one thing, only one habit. That's it. Don't worry about the studying and I got to meditate and I got to do my burpees and I got to post on social media. Just your one thing, whatever that is. It can be waking up early. It can be making a YouTube video. Whatever it is. What's your one thing? And then commit to that one thing. That's internal. External. What's something that you can do outside of you to reinforce your new image? That can be a new apartment, a new environment, a change of wardrobe, buying a new car, new apartment. Like, what can you change outside of you? For example, one thing that I do now, I only drive with chauffeurs. Rich knows. Rich, how did you get picked up? Dude in a black suit opens the door for you. Like, he gets scared if he can't open the door for Rich. This guy's running to open the door for Rich. Like, this guy, that, and there's always water inside, Voss water with the little wet wipes inside. That's how we drive around. And it's only maybe 50% more expensive to take a trip rather than a regular Uber. Now I haven't fully committed to it, but now I commit right now because that's my new self-image. I get chauffeured everywhere in nice BMWs or like the Mercedes thing. That's something. And now some of you might call that pretentious, but I reinforce my self-image. I'm like, fuck yeah, this is how I drive around. Of course I have a chauffeur, Mr. Law of Attraction. And let me tell you, because they have the service in Dubai. So I'm just giving you an example. Just find out what it is for you. I'm talking about an external thing. We did their internal habit. Do something external. Your wardrobe, the way you get driven, the environment, your apartment, something like this. Because let me tell you this, Rich, how does that feel being chauffeured in that BMW? That's a different feeling. Like, you do not feel sloppy in that car. You're getting out. You're like, yes, sir. Just for 50% more expensive, let's do it. I feel different. Internal, external. Yeah, y'all get it. Make that commitment. I'm making that commitment right now. Because sometimes I'm like, damn, do I want to spend $10 or $18? I'll spend the 18 and get chauffeur just to get that feeling that can't be bought, which is, yes, sir, Mr. Lava Track. Nice to meet you. Different self-image. What's one external image? Sorry, one external thing that you can do to your environment to move you in the new direction? Write that down right now. 30 seconds. I give you a few examples because the external ones, sometimes you guys need memory joggers. It can be your wardrobe. It can be the way you're driven. It can be your apartment. It can be the city you're living in. It can be small. It can be big. What's something that you can do there? It can be something as simple as every Zoom call, I'm going to show up like this. I'm not going to be showing up in a restaurant. I'm going to be showed up like this. It can be something small like that. Okay, not looking at price at the grocery store. Actually, go ahead and drop your habits in the chat so you guys can bog each other's ideas. Drop your 2 habits, internal and external, in the chat and make your commitment. I make my commitment to you guys to do the chauffeur thing. It's easy to not do it. I didn't take a chauffeur to the gym. I just did the regular one. And I'm like, damn, I should spend the money. It makes me feel different. All right, guys, drop those in the chat. All right, I have a couple more lessons for you guys here, but let me see. Okay, I want to be respectful of you guys this time. We are a little over. Drop a three in the chat if you would like me to continue. We probably have like another 15 minutes. Or if you guys want me to continue next week, just drop a one in the chat. If you want me to continue, drop a three. Drop a one if you'd like me to continue next, maybe Thursday.